2024 is here. That means I just finished up the fourth quarter of 2023, so we're going to talk about the quarterly update for College-Glen Real Estate. Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your College-Glen neighborhood real estate specialist. College-Glen, fantastic neighborhood in the eastern part of Sacramento. Love working with buyers and sellers in the neighborhood. It's a great spot I've been living in for well over a decade. Love helping you out. So my website, collegeglenrealestate.com, lots of good information there. I do a monthly video update and I do a quarterly video update as well. So we just finished out the fourth quarter for 2023. So we're going to look at the numbers there, kind of talk about what was going on, compare it to previous quarters from a year ago, all that good stuff, and then what's going on now moving forward. All right, so let's throw it up. These numbers are not all that surprising. So there was 14 homes in the neighborhood that closed escrow in the fourth quarter of 2023. Okay, that's not a whole lot for a fourth quarter. As you can see, a year ago we had 19. Because of interest rates being so high, we had less sellers and less buyers in the year of 2023. So sales, the amount of sales were down. So 14 properties closed escrow. Not surprising to see that's a fairly low number for the fourth quarter for sure. Average sales price came in about $530 as the average sales price. Your average home in the neighborhood is going to be right around there for the most part right now. And average days on the market, because we didn't have a ton of buyer activity, things took a little bit longer to sell, even though we didn't have a whole lot of homes to choose from. We just didn't have a whole lot of buyers as well. And so 19 days on the market for that on the average. So for the third quarter, this was the previous quarter, that's more of kind of the summer market. And third quarter is usually a very strong, hot market for closings in College-Glen because that's coming off of the summer and then they're closing in the third quarter there. And so we had 23 properties. That's a little bit more on par with what you'd expect per quarter in the neighborhood. Actually, probably Q2 and Q3, you probably expect a little bit more than that, but still decent number. And average sales price then was about $550. Not to say that values totally dropped a ton, but we did have some really beautiful, really nice dialed in properties that came on the market at that time. And so when you only have 23 properties, that pulls up the average quite a bit there. And the market was moving a little bit faster at that time, averaging only 10 days on the market. Now, a year ago, fourth quarter 2022, that was before kind of rates had really gotten to their hot peak point of 8%. So a little bit more favorable time for buyers then. We had more sales, we had more inventory. So 19 properties closed about a year ago. But you can see the pricing has trickled up a bit over the last year. And that's basically due to supply and demand. There's just not a whole lot of supply. Even though there's not a lot of demand, there's enough that it caused pricing to trickle up a little bit. And you can see days on market there, probably had a couple that just didn't sell, and that really threw the average off on those. So you can see there that it's been a slow year. 2023 was slow as far as the amount of homes selling, and it was reflected in the numbers there. Only 14 closed escrows in the fourth quarter is a pretty low number for sure. I expect probably the first quarter that we're having right now is also going to be a pretty low number because we're looking at stuff that's gotten to escrow in November and December, and they're closing in January and February. Probably have some stuff come on the market in January now that'll close in the first quarter as well too. But because of interest rates, that really was the reasoning for we didn't have a lot of sellers because they were just not too thrilled with going, well, I'm in a 3% mortgage right now and I don't want to sell my house and buy a property that I would prefer but move to an 8% mortgage. I don't want to do that. So we called it kind of the lock-in effect. So there wasn't a whole lot out there. Plus, buyers are like, whoa, 8% mortgage at a $550,000 house. My payments are so high compared to, when they were at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6% even. So we've had a lot less buyers as well too. Thankfully, rates have come down. They're about 6.7, 6.8 right now. That's significantly helped the buyers. And so we are starting to see buyer activity pick up as we start 2024 now. And I believe we're going to start to see seller activity pick up a little bit as well too. Nothing that's crazy white hot, but definitely more than we had in 2023 as we start to kind of move forward. So if you're thinking about selling, right now is kind of that good sweet spot. Rates have come down. There's a bit more buyers. There's buyer activity. There's some multiple offers going on. And there's not a ton of houses available at the moment right now. As we get further into spring and summer, traditionally our neighborhood, we start to have more and more homes come on the market, and there's a little bit more for buyers to choose from. In a pretty good sweet spot as a seller right now. Buyers, if you're thinking about trying to move into the neighborhood, get a hold of me. I'll get you dialed in with a great lender. And a lot of times I know about properties that are not on the market. We might be able to get you something off market, or I can get you dialed in with something that just came on the market. I know all the streets, all the floor plans, everything. We can get you really squared away with what you're looking for, okay? So there's the update for you. Don't forget College-Glen realestate.com. Look forward to talking to you soon, and clear skies.